Hi, everybody. Thank you for those who are able to join us today. My name is Debbie Leno. I am the founder of Luma Life Wellness and Coaching. I'm also the creator of Ageless Woman. And you've probably guessed it by now, but one of my favorite things to do is to invite women on here and just to share their stories and chat with them. And it's kind of cool. I get to meet people from all over and really love getting to know them. And here with me today is my friend. She is amazing. She's joining us here from Houston, Texas. She is a pediatrician. That is her background. Her name is Senait Adebo. Thank you for joining us today, Senait. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Our topic of conversation today is limiting beliefs, enjoying life every day, which Senait will gladly share with us some of the things that she does to enjoy her life every day. And just talking about the journey that we have through adulthood and just not taking things personally, realizing all our potential, and being able to self-validate, which is an important thing to be able to do. Because as we know, we're not always going to be validated in the outside world. And so it's really important to be able to do that internally. And so I want to tell you a little bit about Senait. She has a really cool background, very interesting. She is a founder and CEO of Adebo Clinic, an SA life coaching company. She's also a pediatrician, which I'm sure a lot of you moms out there will really enjoy that about her. She received her medical degree from Gondar University in Ethiopia and pediatric training from the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis. Prior to forming SA Life Coaching Company and her new clinic, Adebo Clinic, Senait served as an assistant professor of pediatrics at Baylor College of Medicine and at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and staff pediatrician at Kids DOC, Corpus Christi, Texas. Her passion, as I said, is to live an authentic, happy, fulfilled life. Welcome, Senait.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you.
So, where do we start with you? Where would you like to start your story and share with us?
Well, it's a long story, but kind of staying on the theme of overcoming limiting beliefs and validating yourself. I grew up in Ethiopia. I was born and grew up in Ethiopia. I did my medical school in Ethiopia as well. As an old child, I was responsible, taking care of my younger siblings and managing the house when my parents are not around. The culture in Ethiopia is a little different, that there's a lot of social things going on, that parents are usually occupied so much by the social things. If somebody dies, they go and stay in that house, every day for the whole day, for a week, and a neighbor or a family member. So the social life is a little bit demanding, and so there were so many times where we kids stay in the house and I take care of the house and my younger kids. That kind of made me learn responsibility, and time management and all those stuff. But I also were recognized and rewarded for the job I was doing as an older sibling. And so when I came here and started doing my residency, when I don't find that validation from, colleagues or attending staff providers, I sometimes start questioning myself and, all the self-doubt stuff most of us women go through.
Yes.
Especially like if an attending provider or my colleagues are, showing that they're not happy or they are frustrated or they're angry, I tend to take that, internally. I tend to take it personally and question myself, but I had to learn to stop doing it, and to just kind of get my own validation from myself. I learned to be my own cheerleader, and to just get that validation internally and not externally. And since then, every life experience has been strengthening this observation that we've got to be our own self, you know, um, like our own cheerleaders, and validate ourselves and love ourselves, all those stuff.
Yes. And so I have a question. So how many siblings did you have? Do you have? Not did you
Yes,
have? How many
I
siblings do you
know.
have?
Yeah, no, no, you'll be surprised. It's like like a regular family in Ethiopia would have anywhere between 5 to 12 kids. Yes, yes. And, like birth contraception and things like that are not well developed, and most families either don't have access or don't have the knowledge, or, and so we were a lot, actually. We were seven. I have six
So
other siblings.
you did have a lot of responsibility young. And it sounds
Yeah,
like your parents were really very, very appreciative and grateful for all that you did for the family in their absence. So
yeah,
it would stand to reason that, you had a different experience prior to coming here.
yes,
So,
yes,
yeah,
yes, for sure.
big hurdle.
Yeah, I know. Actually, two of my siblings were born after I left home to college, because I was the first daughter, and there's some gap between us. And so, as old as I am, like 18, 20, my mom was still having children. Uh-huh.
Yes, I can
Mhm.
relate to that. My last one came when I was 43.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. How old was the previous one before?
Well, the first four of my children are really close together, like stair steps, and then the last two were further apart. So the youngest
Yeah.
one at the time was 5 when I had my sixth child. So I have six,
Oh,
and
wow.
so yeah, I was 43 when she came along, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Now they're all
blessing.
adults.
I
Yes.
know. It's a blessing, though, to have. I know. I have 3 kids now, and so I enjoy them every day.
I bet you do. So
Yeah.
speaking of that, so you sort of shifted gears. We've talked a bit before, but you sort of shifted gears with what you were doing in the hospital and
Yeah.
teaching to where you are now, opening up your own clinic, which is very exciting. You want to
Yes.
tell us about that?
Yes, yeah, thank you for bring that up. But so I was working as a hospitalist, and which means staying most of the time in the hospital. And I don't agree with most of the things we do routinely, and I start, questioning them, bringing them up, and things like that. I even did a study to show that what we're doing really should change, things like that. But, in the mainstream, in the American system, to create a change, it's going to take a long time. And, it's not, even if people agree with my observation and my research and the data, it was going to take a long time to make any change. And so I just realized that maybe I better just own my own company, and just do what's right, not what society says, or so. And I had a great interest in life coaching, and so first I founded my life coaching company, and then right now I am in the process of actually opening up the Adebo clinic. It's going to go live in about 2 weeks. So we are doing the underground work so far to getting it up and running. But I'm excited about it. In 2 weeks, we'll go live.
So tell me, so I'm really interested in that. Is it going to be strictly life coaching? Are you going to blend some of your background with medicine into it? Is it going to be primarily for women? What is your vision for your clinic?
That's a good question, Debbie. So by training, I'm a pediatrician, and this clinic is going to focus on children's health, but I plan to incorporate wellness and weight loss, and maybe even work with adults, extend it from kids to adults. That's kind of my plan, and we shall see, how
Oh,
things
God
fold.
love you. God love you,
Yeah,
because there is such a place for what you're doing.
right? I
And
believe so.
if I had been in your path, I would have done the same thing, because it would have been hard for me to follow a path of a physician. I think
Right,
what you're doing makes more sense to me. And
right.
so I think that your community is really blessed to have you
Thank
there
you.
doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. I mean, like from my past, I've realized that we got to equip our kids well, to get them, to have always that internal confidence and self-worth and discipline, all of that stuff. And also, if you're an adult and maybe you didn't get some of that, it's not too late. You can work on all of that, and so I do have two extreme um, like age groups that I could work with new parents, and
Beautiful,
even,
beautiful.
yeah, teenagers. There's parenting is going to be a big thing, from birth until our kids graduate college. We can support them in each stage of life. And also, if you're an adult and maybe you're struggling, then it's okay. Most of us, I'm expanding this, but most of us adults have, people say that we have trauma one way or the other, whether it's from a school friend or a teacher or a parent or a relative, that might be keeping us back, that might be holding us back, but we can always work through it and release our limiting beliefs and become who we are created to be. That's my biggest passion.
Oh, you know what? I wish I lived near you. I would love to be a part of what you're doing. I think what you're doing is so important. And I love how you're working with the families. That is such a, uh, an amazing place to be. What an impact that you can make on your community,
Thank you,
bringing
Debbie.
peace and bringing, oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Yes, that's
Yes.
so awesome. So what
Thank you,
do
Debbie.
you, so aside from work, and
Yes.
by the way, a side note here, your husband is a physician as well. And
Yes, he is.
what does he think of this venture that you're in?
That's a good question. He is a physician and a strictly physician. He's always going by the textbooks and things like that. But I believe I am a little bit more intuitive. Yes, the medicine, what we learned is important, but we are also spiritual beings. We have uh, our intuition, our inner knowing that can guide us. And so when I start, founding my coaching business and stuff, he wasn't all on board initially, but now he is, you know.
That's awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. I'm so happy for you
Thank you,
guys.
Debbie.
That's so
Thank you.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, so can you share with us something like what do you do personally to stay balanced and to keep everything happy and flowing?
Yeah.
Um, do you have a routine that you, or some sort of, um, yeah, a
Yeah.
routine that you'd like to share with us on
Sure.
how you keep
Yes.
things balanced?
Yes, yes. So yeah, that's a good question, Debbie. Since I don't know, like before I had my kids, even I mm, actually it was during residency that I learned this. When I wake up in the morning, like spending quiet time, whether in prayer, mostly I love prayer more than meditation. So in the morning I spend few minutes praying before I go off to work. um, this is my usual routine, but there are days where maybe I'm running a little late. Maybe I have to be there at 7 a.m. and it's like 6:40. And so sometimes I just go and rush and thinking, oh, I'll pray on my way or things like that. But interestingly, on days I did that, I will have traffic stopping me. And it takes me longer than usual for whatever reason. And so I learned, even if it's like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I spend my quiet time before getting out of the door. um, I just love that my day flows smoothly when I do that. That's my routine in the morning, spend some quiet time. If I have time, over the last year, I have had some flexibility since I left my hospitalist job. And so I have a little bit more time in the morning. And so I would, after a little bit prayer, I would journal, I would exercise a little bit too. Those kinds of things makes me balanced, and make my day flow smoothly. But I also ran once or twice a week. And sometimes, me and my kids love going and swimming. So those are the things we do.
Oh, that sounds really good. You know what? I can relate to this. My day does go differently when I spend it, and if I have a period of devotion, and I like to do that in the morning as well. It does make a difference in your day.
Yes,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
mhm.
But like we're so much rushed that sometimes we don't have time to do that. And if what I would recommend to everyone is like, we say we don't have time, we are busy, but we can find time, if we are intentional. What I've learned recently is that, maybe before you go to bed, set an intention to get up a little bit earlier. And, that kind of, that makes sure that you have some time before you go out. And I have been writing some blogs about it, and if people are interested, they can check out my morning routine blog on my website, which we can leave
Yes.
a link.
Absolutely. When you go
Yeah,
back to my page, definitely add your link. I think that'd be really a great thing to share with the women is something for a morning routine.
yeah,
It's always inspirational, I think. We have
right.
some Facebook people on here. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Senait. Somebody, I cannot see who it is because it says Facebook user, so I can't tell who's saying that. But hi, whoever it is who joined us, thank you for joining us.
Hi,
Um,
guys.
yeah. Um, gosh, I had so many things that I wanted to talk to you about, and you pretty much already covered some of that. I
Yeah,
just kudos again to you for, and I can't tell you how inspired I am by you being mainstream medicine and feeling that pull and feeling that desire and feeling that something else that was very important to you, things that were being revealed to you on a different level, and having the courage, and this is what I'm speaking to, is having the courage to really step out of fear, step out of comfort, and create something of your own where you could really bring something very special to your community. And so I thank you for that. I always
thank you,
love it.
Debbie.
I love that when women step out and get courageous, and oh my
Yeah,
goodness, it's
I know.
such a
Thank you,
blessing.
Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. My past has taught me that, what's important is enjoying every day, enjoying what we have, because whatever it is in life, whatever you're wanting and, wanting to have, as soon as you have it, the excitement, the joy lasts only a few minutes, at the end of the day. It's what you feel internally that's going to keep you going. And so, don't, I would say, don't rely your joy, your happiness on external things, because they don't, they might be taken away from you. One thing. The second thing, once you get them, the joy, excitement lasts only a few weeks or maybe months. But then you're back at desiring wanting more. But like learning to appreciate what you have every day, who you are, what you have. You are enough. That's,
Oh, no better words could be said. You are
yeah,
enough. And
yeah, I know.
thank you so much for that. And yes, taking the time to appreciate. And
Yeah.
I love it. I love that.
I know, because I think society tells us that to be good, we've got to have this and that and that. And once you get there, you think that's it. You'll be happy and you'll be good. But no, there is more. And so never ending needs and desires, but just enjoying every day, appreciating what you have. I think more important is the quality time you spend with your kids, your loved ones. That's going to be more memorable. Sometimes, especially us working parents, we might be guilty of not spending a lot of quiet time with our kids, and so we sometimes buy them expensive stuff and things like that. They're not going to remember that. They're going to remember the quality time they spend with you. And so all your kids need is you to be present,
Ah,
to be there.
oh, that, you know what? That brings up a good question for me. Is what would your best advice be to the young parents that are in the group that might be listening to this? The best advice you could give to a working mom, because there is a lot of guilt for working moms, and they do miss their children, and they're in situations sometimes where they need that extra salary. So how do they make their time count with their children? Do you have any pointers, any tips for that?
Yes, yes, yeah, that's a good question, Debbie. I think I was in that boat too. Most of us are forced. We got to work and provide, and sometimes, we got to keep our profession. Otherwise, you may lose it, right? But then, what I would say is, uh, like make the time you spend with them measurable. Make that time count by, kids don't need like the whole day for you to be with them. It's more the quality time. Sometimes it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes that matters. And so when you are with them, just be present fully, without any distractions. And whether it's 10 minutes in the morning, or if they're going to be asleep when you leave, it's okay too. When you come back, just make sure you spend that quality time one on one. If you have multiple children, I would say one on one quality time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, quality, focus on quality than quantity.
I think that's a great tip for parents for sure. I know one thing that I really didn't do enough of when I was a parent is validate my children's feelings if they had negative feelings. I
Mm-hmm.
think back in the day, it was kind of not like get over it, but kind of, you know.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, if I could have, one of the things I might have done differently is taken the time to say, I understand how you feel. And that's okay. And it's good to acknowledge the way you feel. So what are some solutions, and helping our children work out their negative feelings rather than to have
Yeah.
them stuff them or shove them somewhere, because they're not
Exactly.
acceptable.
Yes,
So
I agree.
yeah,
Yes, well said, Debbie, for sure. Yeah, help them work through them. The thing is, we try to avoid feeling negative emotions because they are not comfortable. And we try our kids also not to feel it. We try to make them feel better right away, but it's okay to process through it and feel them. They only last a minute or two.
yeah, I think it means a lot. I mean, think about it, adults like to be validated in how they feel. And when somebody doesn't validate them, it makes it worse.
Right. I know. That's true.
You
And
know,
that's true.
so it's yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what would be, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for sharing yourself with us. I really appreciate all of that. What would be um like that burning message on your heart to share with everybody? Like what would be your parting words or your parting message that you really feel very strong about, something that you
Yeah.
really want to share?
Yeah, that's a good point, Debbie. I would say love your life just the way it is. Love yourself just the way you are. And then you can make goals and plans to achieve whatever it is you'd like to achieve. But enjoy every day. Be present fully with your family. Don't be, too distracted
Mm.
when you are interacting with your kids. And if we go for specifics, I would say, limit the time you spend on TV or social media. Focus more on quality time, with your family and with yourself too. I think most of us are disconnected even from ourselves,
Oh boy,
and
that is
so
so true. Oh my goodness, that's so true. Yes,
hmm
absolutely. And we're
hmm
all somewhat guilty of that sometimes. I know I am. You
yeah,
know, not so much with TV, but definitely with my phone sometimes, checking
right,
in, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
I try not to do that when I'm with my grandchildren because I want them to know that grandma's
you're,
paying attention and grandma's there for them
yeah,
and that they matter. And, you know,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
nothing worse than being out with somebody or a friend and they're
yeah,
scrolling their phone while you're trying to have a conversation with them.
right,
You know, it's
yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah, I
So
know.
I try to be mindful about things like that because you're right.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. Yeah,
Thank you, Davy.
you're so welcome. Let's see, we've got some comments here. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Senait. Hi, yay. Take time for yourself like brushing your teeth. Yes. Yes, exactly. That's a great point actually to bring up. Is that so automatic, right? It's a built-in
Yeah,
automatic habit. You never
yeah,
think about it, you just do it.
do it. Yes, I know,
Yeah.
I know.
It,
Yeah, my favorite way of, spending time with myself is like taking a nap, for example, or journaling. That makes me be connected, with my deepest self. But like we talked about, it's all rushed and running, that sometimes we're maybe giving to others, and we are not giving to ourselves, things like that.
I think that's a really important topic to bring up with women because women are by nature, we're nurturers, givers,
Yeah,
helpers. And
yeah,
so, yeah, we,
yeah,
what do they say that, you know, you can't serve from a cup that's half empty.
that's
So,
very true, very true.
mhm,
Yep, fill your bucket first.
exactly. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up. Again, thank you so much for being here with me. So I've totally enjoyed you coming on and just
Thank
sharing
you.
something about yourself. And I really was anxious to hear more about your clinic. So we will just be chatting more. I'd love to hear what's going on and share your links with us, please.
Will do. Thank you, Davy,
Yeah.
for having me. Take care. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Bye now. Bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.